Incredible high-tech giant beef slaughterhouse. Amazing modern technology beef factory. Beef processing is a multi-billion-dollar business around the world, and some countries only export products on which their economy relies is surprisingly beef. How does beef get processed? How it all happens? It's just not as simple as we at the first glance think of. This multi-billion-dollar business surely has multi-million and even billions of investments, which makes the whole process way more amazing than we at the first glance think of. Let's get into the video, which takes you on a tour of super modern, enormous beef processing plant. This facility is a virtual video library with the goal of teaching beef cattle ranchers how to improve the quality of their products via better management. Hello everyone, and thank you for choosing our channel as your go-to resource. Make sure to click the bell symbol and subscribe to this channel so that you are notified immediately whenever there is an update. The group maintains that adhering to these standards would improve farmers' bottom lines while also facilitating the development of consumer-friendly beef products. The resource is made available by the Agri-Life Extension Department at Texas A&M University, with funding given by the Texas Beef Council. Cattle management, livestock care, beef quality assurance, dairy cattle, and more are just some of the areas in which this group excels. The initial step in the operation involves unloading and processing the cattle. The major slaughtering technique, which may include dehydration, may then commence once the animal has been stunned. The veal calves are suspended by their hind legs from a conveyor belt in order to make the process of killing them more efficient. Animals are being made to bleed by cutting their jugular veins and having blades pushed into their chests and carotid arteries. This causes the cows to bleed out. Using this method, you will be able to remove the most blood possible from your body. The head, limbs, and tails are cut off before the bodies are processed. It is critical to isolate the head, neck, and forelimbs from the rest of the body in order to lessen the likelihood that disease may spread throughout the whole body. After the hide has been linked together and peeled off the flank, an electric saw is used to remove the brisket of the animal. The terrible creature is removed from the room and placed on a big rolling table that is located in the center of the biscara. A split is produced in the body of the dead person along the central column of the spine by using an electric saw to make the incision. The decaying mess and the dead bodies are being investigated by health professionals. Only meat and offal that is not fit for human eating is rejected by the company. However, the portions of the carcasses that are found unsuitable for human food will be condemned, while those that are deemed to pass the examination and are safe for human consumption will be formally labeled as such. After passing through a chamber designed for rinsing, the bodies are cleansed in a separate room that has been set aside just for this task. In the quartering zone, automated scissors are used to cut each side of the beef carcasses into two quarters between the 5th and the 6th ribs on each side of the carcass. This occurs in the space between the 5th and the 6th ribs on each side of the carcass. Both sides of the carcass will have these incisions made to them. The beef quarters and other cuts of the cow are sold at convenience stores, and other neighborhood shops are transported on delivery trucks from a centralized meat dispatch bank. In order to get the meat, these trucks make their way to a centralized meat dispatch bank. The meat is now going through the dry aging process, which involves breaking up large cuts of beef that have been allowed to mature for a number of weeks or months before being sliced into thin strips. This process is carried out in order to produce an end product that is richer in taste and more tender. In order for the meat to become more tender as a consequence of the cooking process and to absorb more flavor while it is being prepared, the firm has opted to make use of the method of table deboning, since it is not just the simplest and most essential arrangement for a cutting room, but also because it offers a great deal of flexibility. With this configuration, personnel use cutting tables to carry out their duties. When carcasses or cuts are not consistent, table deboning is the best option, albeit it does need hiring workers with a broad variety of cutting skills. The 3 primal pieces of beef are cut off the carcasses by hand using knives. The beef is minced and finely chopped using a meat grinder to be used in numerous dishes like beef sausages, hamburgers, and many more. You are seeing the production of 100% beef, burgers, and other freshly prepared, on-the-go delicacies. Tender steaks and prime cuts of beef are the results of careful processing. Alternatives for roasted meals, final goods are kept in Danish crowns after being packaged, labeled, and packaged again. The Danish crown is a major exporter and European producer of pork. Crown beef, a division of the Danish Crown Group, is a major participant in the European beef industry. More than 130 nations have access to the goods created by this firm, which have also been manufactured in Denmark, the United Kingdom, numerous European countries, and China. The packaged, tagged, and sealed beef products have been processed. Danish farms where cattle are unloaded before being taken in groups to the slaughterhouse and processed further. The stunning system for the Danish crown is pre-installed, with a spectacular registration system and is fully compliant with all applicable laws. Beef is dehaired and then cooked, raised to a buffer rail to be finished as a carcass. Equipment, including pre-dryers, flame furnaces, washing, and polishing equipment are available on the carcass finishing line. The pelvic bone is sliced in half, the hams are separated, the belly is opened, and the breastbone is divided into halves. The pelvic bone and the belly are split apart, and the bungs are removed, all in one fell swoop. After the evisceration stage of a slaughter process, the splitting saw equipment is brought in and set up. In a single motion, the saw can cut the carcass in half lengthwise. The corpses are being carried along the line via an overhead conveyor. The head was unfastened by the machine on its own, utilizing a specially developed twin knife that slices the neck right below the atlas bone leaf. When it comes to defatting skin removal and membrane skinning, the Danish crown provides a range of skinners that are among the best in the business. Automatic skinning and belly skinning are made easy with the conveyorized skinners. The facility has cooling chambers and chill tunnels to maintain an optimal temperature. The carcasses are hung on rails so that they face the same direction as the airflow and don't bump against one another. The chilled corpses are taken to the deboning hall, where they are butchered, deboned, and trimmed. Both the hanging to deboning method and the conventional pace line system is used for the deboning and trimming processes. In the deboning hall, the trimmed and deboned beef is loaded onto a conveyor belt and sent away for packaging, storage, or further processing. Usually, the analysis leads to additional processing into sausages or convenience goods like hamburgers. The trimmings are automatically sorted and batched. The plant's product packaging system automates the batching, packing, inspecting, and weighing of byproducts in accordance with the standards of grinding and mixing. Whenever feasible, it has eliminated human labor-intensive activities, providing processors with a quick and more effective means of bulk packaging a wide variety of wastes. After being weighed, measured for fat and lean content, and inspected for extraneous objects, trim meat is frequently ground and blended with other ingredients such as spices, water, and flour to create a meat mess that is uniform and consistent. This is done in order to create a homogeneous and consistent product. Because of its versatility, the process of preparing Danish crowns may be used in the manufacture of a broad variety of ready-to-eat foods and other convenience items. When it comes to the preparation of traditional fresh beef, the Danish crown provides a comprehensive range of choices. From recipes to the necessary grinding requirements, the grinding process creates the meat mass for the sausage, and the techniques for creating sausages are highly versatile. This allows for rapid casing changeovers between different products. For example, for length or diameter, the sausage stuffers and linkers are loaded into the machine through the mixing mechanism. The horizontal and primal cuts of beef are achieved by the use of this hand procedure. Because the worker is using a knife to perform the cuts, there will be no bone dust, and they will be able to optimize their productivity while minimizing their waste. We would appreciate if you share your comments in the comments box. If you liked watching this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any new uploads. Many thanks for your support. If you have something to say, please leave it in the comments box.